to some sporting news, and there's a bit going around, but this one is the biggest in the country currently, and that is Tony Jones of Channel 9 reporter, maybe a 3AW radio guy down in, is he a Melbourne guy? I think he's a Melbourne guy. I think he is. In fact, I know he is.
I guarantee that people listening to this right now, I'm saying 90% of people would have no idea what we're talking about. So
Yes.
just look him up.
Look him up.
Because you'll recognise him.
You'll recognise him immediately, but you probably know who he is now because of the furor that is happening. There's also some funny videos that we are going to watch of him on the internet. Now, this guy, from all the Tony Jones experiences that I've like sort of had, and I don't mean personal ones with him, just where I've seen him and the way I've seen him on TV and shit, he seems like he takes himself very seriously. One, seems like he thinks he's funny, which he's not. Two, and he's a magoo. Don't know how to. There's no nice way to put that. He's a magoo.
Well,
you don't. It doesn't have to be,
magoo's not always a negative.
It's not always negative, but. And you know what? It's not necessarily in this case, but it kind of is because he's getting butt fucked globally. And he was already started off. He was getting butt fucked because that American chick, Danielle Collins, the Danimal, who her head's so far up her own arsehole, and yet she was able to put Tony Jones on the gronk because he was talking shit about her as well. But Tony Jones the other day on Channel 9, he was standing in front of a crowd of Djokovic fans, Serbians. And we don't need headphones for this, do we, Cody Toads?
No, you just need to turn the TV up with your remote there.
Okay. Punters and dribblers, if you want to see it, go to YouTube. If not, you can listen to the audio. But this is
this audio will go into the podcast.
So I'm saying just listen to the audio.
Yeah.
But you could, if you're a visual guy or girl, then you'll need to go to the YouTube for this.
The Novak Djokovic fan.
Unmute.
Back to Melbourne Park where you can see the Novak Djokovic fans there in full voice. Yeah, the chants are quite extraordinary. Novak, he's overrated. Novak's a has-been. Novak, kick him out. Boy, I'm glad they can't hear me.
What?
Anyway, let's get on to the tennis and world.
What a fucking stupid thing to say. Because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's his attempt at being funny.
But it's not. But like,
I have some sympathy for a person who he's not funny, and he thinks he's funny. And he's trying to be funny, and you're on live TV, and outside, there's.
Wait, what's the joke he's trying to spin there?
That I don't know.
Because the problem is,
I guess the joke is that it's not true. If I'm trying to give him the most sympathetic reading on that, it's that it's obviously not true. So that's obviously not what they're saying.
that's it. He played a shocker. He's got it so wrong.
The problem is he's already been in the news talking shit about the Danimal.
But do you tie the kick him out thing with the COVID shit? I sort of do.
I did when I heard it. When I heard it, that's what I thought. I was like,
oh, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, which is again, we don't need to get down COVID.
We're not.
We're not going down there.
We're not.
Well, don't lead me down there.
I'm literally holding on to you, saying, big fella, woo up.
Me? You brought it up. I didn't even fucking say it. But yeah, it did give that vibe. It did. Now, Novak, or Novaks, as some would call him, not I, but he, after winning, I don't know who he played last night, but he won, and they all do the on-court interview with Jim Courier. This is how it went down.
Serve was terrific, 81% first serves. One. And it was the unforced errors, just 21 for Djokovic, 44.
Thank you very much for being here tonight. I appreciate your presence and the support, and I'll see you next round. Thank you very much.
Now that's interesting.
Right, so it was quick. Pause that there. He takes the microphone off the great and incomparable Jim Courier.
Does Jim know what's going on there?
I think Novak would just gone and listen, give me the mic.
Because Jim would have been fucking crushed to within an inch of his life if he'd been nah-bra'd by Novak there and didn't realise the circumstances.
But listen,
it looks like he knows.
Jim knew. Jim was like, have the mic, and then just fucking bounce. Like, that's all good. Jim, and Novak has respect for Jim, and I don't think Novak would want to disrespect Jim.
Well, Jim Courier, off the top of the dome,
Two
Ford.
times. Oh, I was going to say two.
I'm going to say 4-time Grand Slam winner.
I'm going to say is he an Aus Open winner? I think he might be.
I think he's won 2. I think he's won 1 or 2 Aus and 1 or 2 French.
That's going to have to be what you do right
He's
now.
definitely
Cody
won a
Totes.
French, and he's definitely won an Aussie. But I think he might have
2
won
French, 2 Aussie.
Kid.
First day back.
Going. First day back.
Now, Novak then went into his press conference and elaborated on why he nabra'd Jim Courier, but not really Jim Courier.
A couple of days ago, the famous sports journalist who works for official broadcaster Channel 9 here in Australia made a mockery of Serbian fans and also made insulting and offensive comments towards me. And since then, he chose not to issue any public apology. Neither did Channel 9. So since they're official broadcasters, I chose not to give interviews for Channel 9. I have nothing against Jim Courier, neither the Australian public, and it was a very awkward situation for me to face on the court today, and it's unfortunate. I chose to say something to the crowd, but obviously it wasn't the time and space or situation for me to explain what I'm doing right now. So I leave it to Channel 9 to handle this the way they think they see fit, and that's all.
It's a fucking brutal take of Tony Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony sees that, and I reckon poo starts coming out.
Poo's already leaked out of Tony Jones's bumhole today because basically before that press conference had even before those words had left Novak's lips, Tony's come out with an apology. Now, can you just has Tony got? Is it a video apology?
This I haven't watched this video yet, but this is the first thing that came up.
That's
it looks
a bit-
like a video, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This will be funny. I haven't seen this.
Straight to the Australian Open now, where Clint is talking to TJ about the drama
Friend of the show, Carl
unfolding
Singer.
out of Melbourne.
Tony, good to see you. A lot's transpired, a lot's been said over the last 24 hours, especially last night. What's your reaction?
Well, one of disappointment that it's come to this, I've got to say, because the comments were made, if I can just give you a bit of a timeline here, the comments were made on the news on the Friday night, which I considered to be banter. I considered it to be humour, which is consistent with most things I do, whether it be the Sunday footy show, whether it be the morning show.
He's a funny guy.
Having said that, I was made aware on the Saturday morning from Tennis Australia via the Djokovic camp that the Djokovic camp was not happy at all with those comments. Now, as such, I immediately contacted the Djokovic camp and issued an apology to them, so this is 48 hours ago, for any disrespect that Novak felt that I'd caused. And as I stand here now, I stand by that apology to Novak if he felt any disrespect, which quite clearly he does. Now, I should also say the disrespect was extended, I guess, in many ways to the Serbian fans. Now, as you know, being here over the 7 years, we've built up a nice rapport with the Serbian fans. They come here with the flags and they provide so much colour and so much passion, and there was banter. So I thought what I was doing was an extension of that banter. Quite clearly, that hasn't been interpreted that way. So I do feel as though I've let down the Serbian fans. Now, I'm not just saying this to try and wriggle out of trouble or anything. I genuinely feel for those fans. If I could turn back time, right, and I know we've all got PhDs in hindsight, I think the one thing where I overstepped the mark, and this is certainly what's really sort of angered Novak Djokovic in his camp, is the last comment I made in that back and forth with the crowd, kick him out. Now, I can stand here and put whatever spin I want in that, but it can only be interpreted as a throwback to the COVID years when he was kicked out. Now, that has angered Novak, which I completely understand now. So, look, it has been
Such a
an unfortunate situation. It's been one of personal angst for Novak. It's quite clearly personal angst for me as well. But I just think the priority here now is to focus on the tennis again. He's got an amazing match coming up tomorrow night against Carlos Alcaraz, and I hope that his focus can now be on that, and my focus is now the broadcast again. So I can only again tell Novak what I told him 48 hours ago, and that is I do apologise if he felt that I disrespected him. I should also add that in the correspondence with Novak's team, I agreed to meet with them in person to discuss all this. They came back and said, yes, we would be keen to meet in person. That hasn't transpired, but I'm sure it will over the next 24 hours.
So you're back on air shortly. As far as you consider the situation right now, is this case closed?
I hope so.
All right, Tony Jones.
What does Carl say? What does Carl say?
I would say that, you know, Novak Djokovic is a legend of the sport. He's very patriotic. He does take things personally, which is his right too. And TJ's apology is heartfelt. I think Novak's a really good guy. I've met him a couple of times now, interviewed him a few times, and I'm sure in the fullness of the hours that are ahead and the matches that are ahead, he'll be okay. But you know, hopefully that is you know, the chance for us to focus on the tennis.
Yeah, I think
after a few more conversations in the media.
I think so. Are you still going to get down there, Carlos?
Well, I hope so. So
today?
I'd like to see Novak.
Okay. Channel 9 just going, Carlos, you got to smooth this one, buddy.
Come on, Carlos.
Carlos, we need you to smooth
Come
this.
on,
You're the
mate.
best in the business, bro. You need to smooth this.
Mr. Smooth, come on, baby.
Mr. Smooth. Smoothanovich, because Tony Jones didn't smooth shit just then. Tone was like, I made the apology 48 hours ago. He said it like 3 times where he's like, I thought this was done, Novak. I apologised to you privately. Novak's gone, cunt, where was the public apology?
Yeah, he mentioned that a couple of times. He's like, public apology.
Public apology, mate. Again, that's what I think our reading of that was correct.
Of course it was, Tom. Of course it was. I think you can only interpret him saying he's overrated as a fucking shit joke.
Yes.
Like the tone was off, the delivery of us.
He's not funny.
It was just a shocker. But there's no other way to interpret it other than that, because he is so clearly the best ever.
Yeah.
And it's not even debatable.
No.
So the end bit, I'm like, that seemed like a stab.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. That's where it pushed.
Don't you reckon?
Yes. Before we get to the video, that other video of Tony Jones I sent you, can you just get the one? It's like it's him at the tennis with Tom Steinfort, and they're talking about, like, I think he calls Australia like European. Just see if you can find it. It's just a funny back and forth. He can be a prickly character. Tony Jones. I think that's why, like, people are just going. I think his nickname's Chompers down in America, down in fucking Melbourne.
So is he a Melbourne journo, Victorian?
Yeah, I think so. He was on the AFL Footy Show and shit.
That's why we don't see him that often.
No. Is there anything there with him, Tom and Tom Steinfort?
And you said they called Australia Europeans or something?
It's like, so no. So it's like he's talking about the tennis and how it's like, it becomes like little Europe for a couple of weeks, and then Tom Steinfort says something and he just sort of snaps back at him. We got it?
Yeah.
I love walking around and hearing all the different accents because so many people come from so many different parts of the world, and it's just like our own little Europe for 2 weeks here.
Yeah. It's such an international
A few people from Asia as well here.
Okay, there's some Asians here as well, Tom.
Can you just play that again?
What the fuck?
So if you're listening, this is like, pause it. This is in 2019. It's another Australian Open. It might be the morning show, but they're talking about, Tony's basically talking about how it's nice when the tennis is on. It's like its own little Europe.
Because all the European nations are out.
Yes.
Yeah, ignoring
everyone else in the world who also plays tennis. Again, not intentional, but when it's thrown in his face, he doesn't react well. Yeah.
Probably a little sprinkly in North and South America.
I love walking around and hearing all the different accents because so many people come from so many different parts of the world, and it's just like our own little Europe for 2 weeks here.
It's such an international
A few people from Asia as well here.
Okay, there's some Asians here as well.
Oh, dude, it's good.
There's some Asians here as well.
Yeah, right. There's some Asians here as well. And then I think the tweet, which is where we found it, was like, geez, the chemistry's fucking good on the Today Show. Now, the final one is...
That was so good.
This final one, and I'm sure there are more out there, but these are just the ones that I saw.
Oh, this one's fucking edge.
He was the sports guy, I think, on the nightly news, and then Beck Judd, wife of former AFL player Chris Judd.
Ex-wife.
No, I think they're still together. You're thinking maybe Nadia Bartel and Jimmy Bartel.
Is that who I'm talking?
I think so.
Okay. Can we get confirmation on that Judd one?
I'm almost 100% certain. I know Jimmy and Nadia.
So I'm thinking
I used to
Nadia
work with Jimmy
Bartel.
in radio
And
back
Nadia,
in
is
the
Nadia
day.
Bartel, is she selling like pajamas and shit?
No, bras and shit on buses.
Yeah, that's her. Okay.
Beck and Chris still together.
Happy to hear it.
Great. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I was thrown off by Nadia Bartel,
Yes.
who seems to be doing well.
Good luck to her. She got caught doing rack during COVID as well.
She did.
Allegedly.
As is her right.
And they were really expensive plates, and that's all anyone spoke about. Beck, I think, she's just like given up the weather job.
She's giving it up.
No, yeah, in this video, she's like signing off
Forever.
from the weather, and I think Tony does the sport, and then he goes in for a smooch or some shit. It's so fucking awkward.
Night shower or two tomorrow, but there is a chance of hail in the morning. After a low of 8, we'll reach 13 degrees. So, Pete, the first day of the last month of winter.
And also,
sounds good to me.
It does, but also it's the last time that we'll be
Look at him
working
coming
together
over.
for a little
Look
while
at him.
because you're off on a break.
Oh,
yes, Tony.
Get your hand off me.
Get
your hand off
But
me.
of course, everyone in the newsroom sends much love.
He
and
just
very
comes
best
in
wishes.
the way.
I'll miss you all too. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it.
Yeah, well, I tell you,
Oh,
the
this
Carlton
is
supporters
fucked.
are very excited.
Well, they should be.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, he's
All
got
right,
his arms
now,
crossed.
What's news this Monday? Enjoy your evening.
Look at him. And there's like, we won't do. You watch that again, please.
No.
Just one more time. Just take it to the point. Look at him when he walks out. Hold on. I just want to see him walk in again.
He walks in like an absolute pest.
He's so weird the way he walks.
Yes, Tony. Giving birth to those
Oh,
twins
oh,
of yours.
oh, get your hand
We all
off
miss
me.
you,
Why
but
your
of course,
hand off me,
everyone
bruh?
in the newsroom sends much love and very best wishes.
Thank you. I'll miss you all too. Wish me luck. I'm going to need it.
Yeah,
This
well,
is
I tell you, the Carlton
fucked.
supporters are very excited.
Well, they
This
should be.
is so etch.
Yeah.
That's what's news this Monday. Enjoy your evening. Good night.
She's like, what are you doing,
What
mate?
the fuck are you doing?
Oh,
Oh, that's good stuff. And then, as I was saying, we won't watch that video, but apparently, like, they just would play it on the AFL footy show all the time, and he'd get so fucking off it. One time he stormed off set or some shit.
bullshit.
Maybe try to see if you can find that.
It's got a lot of Volk's handshake about it.
Volk handshake. Can't.
You
That's
did the
got nothing.
exact same thing. You went straight to the
Yeah,
arms
but
folded.
Volk's handshake's got nothing on that. Live national TV. Like, I could have edited that out of the Volk. Credit to me for just being for not knowing I did it.
Well, you did because you
No,
talked about it.
I
in the
did.
car
It was
afterwards.
fucking awful. But like, I
didn't
could
know
have
you did.
edited it out. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think so.
Of course not, because I'm not a puss. What I'm saying is
That's that's way worse.
That is way worse.
It's way worse because she's a woman and he's lent in for a fucking kiss on
Yes.
live TV, and she's
And
like,
she's
"Get the
nah,
fuck away
bruh,
from me." It's
At
way
least
worse.
Volk shook my hand.
He did, and
if
it's
he'd
just
said no,
and it's just a handshake.
It's not a kiss with Beck Judd on live TV getting absolutely nah,
brad. The way he leans in's pretty etch as well.
It's just not necessary.
I know.
Chompers, dude.
Chompers.
Is there anything?
And unfortunately for Chompers, this sort of stuff gets dredged up when you fuck up.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what, dude? Like, he was already going to be someone we discussed on the show today because he was staunchly against Danielle Collins, the Yank, who was going like, mwah, and like kissing to the crowd and shit after she beat that Aussie girl.
Yeah.
And he started talking shit about her on his radio show, and then she buried him in the fucking press conference as well. But that's old news now. Like, who gives a shit?
Oh, who cares about that?
Who cares?
No, it's not even relevant.
It's not even relevant at all.
No.
So there's a video
That's
here.
a brutal watch. That's
Yeah.
a seriously brutal watch.
Yeah.
That's got a lot of Eddie Simpson pause about it, that one.
Yeah.
This video looks like they are. There's like a panel on the AFL show rewatching the clip.
Oh, yeah.
So
They're
they're
counting
counting
down
down-
funny moments of the year.
Counting down.
Yeah, skip
yeah.
to the end. This will be it at the end.
Yeah,
Turn it
so
up,
it's this
though.
last one just here.
You got any sound?
The most trending
Yeah,
man
here.
at Channel 9 is this one. That went berserk. That was unbelievable. And then, of course, this one
Oh,
here,
no.
yeah, mate, what about me?
Oh, Shannon Knowles will shake his hand. See,
Mate, you wouldn't believe how many hits this
Oh,
had.
that was
the
his-
handball's the best in the world. The handball, come on, Chomp Chomp. you are trending, my friend. That is you, the trend.
Yeah, this is it. When I said to the bosses, we'll fill an hour, no worries. Yeah,
Guess what?
Oh,
Yeah,
chompers.
chomp, dude.
Chomp.
Uncle Chomp.
That's good stuff.
Yep. That was great. Anyway, Novak buried him. He's apologised. We move on.
Imagine getting buried by someone that big.
Listen, it could happen to anyone at any time, but I mean, Chomp's fucking had a couple. Chomp's had a couple.
Shout out to
Let's move on.
Chomp. That's good stuff.